Doesn't the game look just fantastic there? Hi there, my name is Maude Garrett, and who better to talk to you about GWENT and its successes of where it was from to where it is now than the CEO of CD Projekt Red. I've got Marcin Iwiński here with me. Hello, Marcin.
Hello.
Check this out. Isn't this impressive? I want to know from you, though, in your Wild Hunt dreams, did you ever expect to think that GWENT, in a mini game from a huge RPG game like Witcher 3, would ever have its standalone game?
You know, it was already a little bit suspicious when we had big part of our developers, instead of QAing the big RPG, as you said, Witcher 3, they were playing GWENT. So I think there was something to it, but thinking that it will blow out of proportions to this scale, we've never imagined that.
Well, now it is in a full professional, official tournament now. What is it like seeing your baby, not your botchling, but your baby fully fledged out like this? Is there groans happening already? Yes, for the puns. But what is it like seeing it in full tournament conditions right now?
I think it's amazing, and I'm really curious. I'm invested myself also. I'm not a very good player, but I'm playing a lot. So I dig the rules, I dig the game. I'm really interested to see what are the strategies, what is the magic of this pros.
How do you think you would fare against the 8 competitors today?
You know, actually, I was not allowed to compete because I would beat them to a punch, so, you know.
Okay, good. Yeah, well, you're not playing today, so you can actually have a fun time and see how this all unfolds. Thank you so much for joining me up here. Have a great rest of the day. But there are some tweaks with the tournament. The conditions have changed a little bit, and to help out with that, we've got a video just for you. As you can see, there are some slight changes to the tournament GWENT, and to tell us all about it, he's very, very excited to be here. He is a game developer from GWENT, the card game. Jason Slama, thank you so much for joining me here.
Thank you for having me.
You've got a cheer ready or something.
I can't help it. It's a wonderful day. I never imagined I'd be here. It's fantastic.
I'm so glad you're excited. Now, I want to know, for the people at home who have maybe played GWENT in Witcher 3 but are seeing it in a whole new light now, how difficult was it to get it from that game as a mini game to a fully fledged standalone game?
It took blood, sweat, and tears from every single one of the developers, spending countless hours pushing ourselves to the perfection, never taking good enough, always going for more, and we're going to continue that for you guys, and I can't wait to see here what happens in the future and today.
Now, I know a lot goes into this particular game. It's not just the concept or breaking down what each card does, but it's also about the artwork, and that's multi-layered as well. I heard it took 3 months of man-hours per card to get that design right. Is that correct?
Yeah. Can you believe that shit? That's crazy. 3 freaking months. But it's worth it.
Blood, sweat, and tears. That's amazing.
Totally worth it.
Alrighty, well, let's get this tournament happening. I am super excited for this. Maybe not as excited as Two Flags here, but I mean, the audience is going off. It is the 10th anniversary of Witcher as well. So that in itself is really, really impressive. But I want to hear it from the guys at the desk. We are ready to start this tournament. Over to you, Josh. Josh, I am joined by our first 2 competitors here, Fion56 and Trump. Trump, we'll start with you here. Now, you actually described preparing for GWENT like studying for finals. How do you think your homework's going?
Well, you know what? I've always been a really good test taker, so that really pays off here, I think. I didn't have as much time as any of the other competitors to really practice the game, but I did what I could, and I'm going to make sure that I use the cram knowledge that I did to good use.
Let's see if it is enough. My favorite thing as well when it comes to you is that you like to break things down in statistics. What do you think your statistical chance, I don't even know if that's a word, but what do you think your chance is of winning?
You know, I would definitely put myself as the underdog. I don't know the exact percentage. I know my opponent is pretty unorthodox, but you know what? I'm going to give the crowd a good estimate here. My best guess, I think I have a 35% chance of winning here.
Right, let's see if that is remotely true very, very soon. Now, Fion56, over to you. You are very, very new to the competitive gaming scene. Trump here, quite familiar. Do you think maybe he's got the upper hand because he is really equipped with this surrounding?
Я думаю, он может преподнести некоторые сюрпризы, но какое-то преимущество я не вижу.
Well, I think he might have some surprises in store, but I wouldn't talk of the upper hand here, no.
Oh, I love this. What I think is fantastic is that when the announcement was made and it was announced that you were going up against Trump, you were almost excited by this. Why was that?
Ну, я очень долгое время смотрел видео и стримы Трампа, мне они очень нравились, и я рад возможности сыграть с ним лично на LAN-турнире.
Well, I've been following Trump's videos and gameplays for quite a time, and I'm simply happy to be able to be paired up against him and play against him now.
Fantastic. It feels like a Padawan and Master situation here, which is really, really cool. I won't keep you guys. Take your seats. Best of luck for round one. While they do that, we will pass it back over to Josh and the boys who will be commentating the entire game. Josh, over to you. Thanks so much, Josh. This is exciting. For you on 56, you are moving on to the next round. Guaranteed $10,000 cash at the very least. How exciting is that one? Oh, a little bit of an eye roll. Dude, you're going to upgrade your PC, so that's exciting, yeah? Let's talk about the fact that all 5 rounds were used in this game. Did you think it would be so neck and neck?
Нет, я не считал, что так далеко. Каждый раунд был просто на волоске, я уж думаю.
Well, I had no idea it was going to be so long. I mean, each and every round was just a battle of its own.
В какой-то момент я даже подумал, что исход будет вообще другим.
At some point, I had even lost hope, but then...
Yeah, here we are. Fantastic. Let's talk about the fact that your monster deck was not banned. That was a bit of a surprise for a lot of people. Are you glad that you were able to have that Arrakis swarm where 15 of those little vermins were on the board at once?
Monsters? Of course. Про монстров вопрос. Ну, конечно же, это, наверное, одна из самых сильных моих дек, если не самая сильная. По крайней мере, она надежна и всегда приятно начинать именно с нее.
Well, the monsters are actually one of my favorite. They're one of the strongest, and I always enjoy starting with them.
Alrighty, and of course, Nilfgaard reigning and claiming supremacy there as well. How satisfying was it dropping that leader card and sweeping up that round?
Да, после первой игры Нильфгарда против Скайтели, который был антиматчапом, я был очень доволен второй игрой. Конечно же, в конце заход лета и все этой комбы.
Well, after the game against the Skirtle, I mean, I was really, really happy. You know, all those combos that I managed to pull out. I mean, that was really something.
And there was a little bit of touch and go with your luck when it came to drawing cards. Do you think that it was really skill that won you over the line?
Ты думаешь, это все-таки умение тебе помогло выиграть, а не удача?
Нет, я думаю, что здесь есть скилл. То есть там очень мало карт осталось в деке. Я понимал, ну, там строение деки зависит. То есть, когда мы играем, например, Контореллу, мы знаем, что карта идет вниз колоды, и мы ее уже не подровим. И увеличиваем вероятность того, что мы подровим именно нужную карту, в данном случае лето.
Well, I think that was the majority of skill there, you know. There were very few cards left in the deck, actually, and when playing Cantarella, actually, the both of us, I mean, we simply had to count everything. I mean, that was certain that she would come back, and, well, it must have been calculated, wasn't it?
Fantastic. Well done again, Fion 56, for going into the next round there. If you actually want to get involved and play some Gwent 2, good news for you, the closed beta, hasn't actually ended just yet, and you can get instant access over at playgwent.com. Congratulations, minimum $10,000 will be in your pocket already. Good luck going into the next round, and let's progress with that tournament. Sorry, I'm getting all tongue-tied over here as well. Maybe I need you to translate for me soon. Let's throw it over to Josh at the desk. Very excited for this next round. I am joined by Oikamana and Life Coach here. Now, my favorite thing about the way you play this game is that you're a mathematician by day. You're very good with numbers, and you're very good with kind of the skills and the analytic side of things. How do you think that will help in your performance today?
I think I will be awesome.
Yes! I love the confidence that's coming from you at the moment. You are standing up against Life Coach here, who is very renowned for having a lot of time and attention on Gwent lately. Are you intimidated by that at all, or are you just ready to get into this?
Ready.
He's ready to go. All right. Well, I won't keep you any longer. A Life Coach, you have arguably spent the most time with Gwent out of most of the players here. Do you think you may have the upper hand?
Yeah, I mean, I will definitely give my best. I practiced a lot, so I hope that this practice will also pay off today.
Now, you started in the professional life of poker, and that's kind of continued on through the card games. Do you think that going up against a mathematician will kind of impede with your skills with cards as well?
Well, I guess I'm a mathematician myself a little bit as well, so that's probably, I mean, we will just see, right? So.
We absolutely will. It sounds like it's going to be the battle of the brains here. So, fellas, I won't keep you. Take your places. Best of luck for the next round in the game. This is exciting stuff here, guys. I'm really excited not only for them to get seated and to get into the zone, and hopefully we'll see some really, really strategic and interesting gameplay happen in this next round. Josh, back to you at the desk. Well done, Life Coach. Absolutely amazing gameplay there. A quicker game this time than we saw in the very first game here, which took all 5 rounds. You beating this one 3-1 against Oikemena. I've got to talk about some of the early plays that you made there. Luck and skill on your side. It was all about defending that tower. Talk me through what happened there.
Well, I mean, towers and Hansel are important, so I guess it's also once you assume that he plays villain Threateners, then I mean, actually, I didn't even have a choice, right? I did have to play it like this, so I think that was not
very
specific. But
also, monster deck really showing that it's a force to be reckoned with here. Your monster deck right at the end there, 3 Arrakis Behemoth, really sending you to victory here. Do you think that monster deck is the one to look out for now?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, those are the 2 overpowered, quite powered classes, which is Square Tile and Monsters, and you have to face one of those, so that's the difficulty, right? You either ban Monsters, then you face Square Tile, you ban Square Tile, then you face Monsters.
Now, Oikemena is showing that he was holding on to staying in that game as long as possible there by getting the 3rd round in. I want to know from you, what did you learn playing against someone like Oikemena?
I mean, it was definitely a tough experience, and actually I was hoping to already win the 3rd game, but that didn't happen, so I really had to fight for it. And I also got surprised by the double rain, so I was really hoping that he doesn't also have coral, because that would have been quite problematic, but I'm really happy that the practice paid off. So.
Fantastic. An instant $10,000 now going into the semi-finals. Could be a lot more. Really excited to see how you go with that one. Well done, Life Coach. Now, the tournament, obviously, a lot more to go. Let's take it back to the desk there to get the show on the road.
All right, thank you, Maude. And we're going to...
It is time for the next round in the GWENT Challenger tournament, and it will be Noxious versus Pro Neo. Now, this is a really fun round, and I'll tell you why. Noxious, I was watching some of your videos on YouTube, and you did a video saying that you pitied the person going up against Pro Neo. You are up against Pro Neo. Are you pitying the fool right now?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm the most outmatched person in the event. I went in here thinking Pro Neo's probably taking this, and I'm hoping, you know, he faces off against someone else. I mean, I put some preparation in the whole thing. I think the decks are good, but the question is the pilot good enough to get the decks to work the way they're supposed to? And against Pro Neo, I'm gonna go ahead and say, you know, it's a very tough road.
Okay. Just keep in mind, though, and a lot of people might not know this, but you're actually involved in the alpha part of GWENT, so you were there tinkering and tailoring through the entire process. Do you think that maybe that could give you a leg up?
No, not one bit. The game has evolved so much for the better that I don't think that everything I knew back then even matters to this point. I mean, some of the basics of GWENT, like I know the rule set, but slipping up, forgetting things, keeping track, that's all skills that you develop from playing extensively, and I really haven't put in as much time as, say, someone like Pro Neo, which I think is very favored.
Okay, Pro Neo, you're listening to his answers right now. I have actually had a chat with you leading up to the competition, and you have unfounded confidence with this. Are you kind of elated to hear that Noxious here is a little bit intimidated?
Я чувствую себя вполне в порядке, поэтому, самочувствие мне сильно не изменилось. Как бы я приехал сюда играть, и, ничего не поменялось. Я готов к игре.
Well, I think it changes nothing. I mean, I just came here to play. Okay, I heard the fact, but I'm here to play, and I'm looking loaded for it.
Alrighty. So with this competition, you're saying it's not an even feel. Pro Neo, you are coming at this in a very, very different attitude than what I heard yesterday. I kind of think we should just get this game happening and let the card speak for itself. What do you reckon?
Давайте начнем.
Let's get it started, eh?
Yeah, get in there, guys. All right, take your seats. Good luck to both of you. Really believe in you. Get up there. It's actually interesting to remember that they can ban one deck each going into the game. I'll leave it to the experts to talk about the fine-tuned details of GWENT. So, Josh, back to you. Thanks so much, Josh. Yeah, Noxious and I just standing here shaking our heads. What an incredible match. I want to know what was going through your head after that first match. I mean, Pro Neo played such a strong game. He had 10 strength on the board going into the next round. What were you thinking when that happened?
So one of the key things about the matchup is that your gold cards are pretty important as Koyatel to beat the monster, and I got 0 in the course of the rounds, and you kind of need to initiate with some of them, and I knew it was gonna be borderline impossible, especially the fact that he got a copy of a Ran Warrior, so I had one more card to deal with and even less stuff. But luckily for me, there was one game where I think my shots and the trebuchets lined up perfectly. I got very good, pulls from the deck, and that helped me kind of close the gap.
Yeah, look, round 2, round 3, both, you took them out, and it was just like an epic comeback. And I'm wondering, do you actually work best under pressure?
Typically no, but there's this life coach thing that's called tunnel visioning, where you just put your hands on your face.
I noticed that.
And as it turns out, if you ignore the crowd and anything else around you, you do a lot better. At least I do. I just realized that today. I've never before really played in a Hearthstone tournament with that, so yeah.
Fantastic, there you go. And what I also noticed is that you've really shown that if you've got a control deck and if you know how to control the game, you actually have an upper hand. Do you think that maybe you're teaching a lot of people out there watching the game right now a different way to play?
I don't know about that. It's one of those things where, I prepared with, by the way, I'd like to mention JJ Pasak helped me a lot, just put the decks together, because the idea was that we wanted to I wanted personally to target monsters, as I thought that was the easiest deck to target. A lot of people disagree. They say it's better to ban it because it's so good against everything. Turns out Monster won, and I still took a game with the crack deck, but the idea is control decks can isolate specific things, and it's easier to build multiple control decks from multiple factions than I think multiple proactive decks that can just take the game over.
Well, you said that Pro Neo was your biggest threat. Now that he's kind of out of the way and you took care of that, are you kind of thinking this is smooth sailing from now on?
No, not at all. The next player is going to be playing is going to be PBD and Vishra. Vishra is also a very strong player. Seen him play a little bit, practice, and prepare for his match. And as it turns out, I don't think I'm anywhere near out of the woods.
$10,000 in your pocket, though, and it could go up from there. Well done. Honestly, what amazing gameplay happening there. If you want to get your hands on Gwent, you can do that right now. Jump onto playgwent.com. You get instant access there, and that close beta will be closing soon, so get in while you can. I'm going to leave it back to you guys at the desk. We want to keep this tournament happening, so let's throw it over to you. It is the last pairing up for the very first qualifying round that we've had. Boys, we've got PPD, Peter Pan Dam, going up against Vishra. And it is America versus America here. Sorry, if you're going to call yourself PPD, Peter Pan Dam, I'm going to say that, okay? Now, I want to talk to you about this because you're very, very familiar with the competitive tournament scene, but not for CCGs. How are you feeling with this in this case?
It's a little different, but I'm still a competitor at heart. I'm excited to play.
Okay. Now, Vishra has 15 years experience in the competitive card game space. Do you think that matters?
I've never heard of him before, so I guess not.
This is Vishra. Vishra, this is PPD. You're going up against him right now. Now, I have had a chat with you about this. You've been pretty confident from the get-go. Has that changed much?
No. He's a Dota player, not a card player.
Okay. So this is some nice little, I believe it's called trash talking that's happening here. Is there anything else you want to say while I've got you?
No, I'll show him with cards.
Okay. Well, let's get it happening. Boys, take your seats. Best of luck. Hope everything goes well. Oh, there's some fighting words, people, and I love it when that happens in competitive card games. All right, we'll get them sitting down. Round of applause happening in here because it's getting spicy. And I'll take it over to the desk right now so you guys can see. I want you to commentate the hell out of this game.
Oh, we will.
I've got Peter right next to me. Now, what a strong start from you, and I think it blew a lot of people away. They weren't expecting 2-0 straight out the gate. What were your tactics there?
I kind of let him have Monster because I knew that maybe I could beat it. A lot of my decks were geared towards kind of beating it, but he mirror matched me, which I was not super comfortable in, but I don't know, my little trapper cards and Scoia'tael actually worked, which I was genuinely surprised. That was the deck I was worried about playing, but I'm happy it worked out.
It actually was a lot closer than we thought, like with Vishra catching up after the monster deck. Were you kind of nervous at one stage there?
In the games 3 and 4, I knew that I knew I couldn't beat monster deck with the King Brand deck. I knew it was coming, so I was like I'll give it my best shot. And then game 4, I got so lucky. I I got super lucky. I top decked a Priestess, and that allowed me to get my Queensguard up and buff Saris up more. So, but that's Gwent, top deck king. What can you do?
Well, you could probably trash talk some more. There's emotes being used a lot throughout that game, but you know what? You earned the final word in this particular matchup. Make it count. What would you like to say to Vishra?
Good games, and sorry about the tough luck.
Oh, that's beautiful. There you go. Well, the tournament will continue with the semi-finals happening. Let's get it into gear. Back to the desk there. Josh, take it away.
All right, thanks, Maude.
I've got both the players here with me leading into the semi-finals. This is where it gets really exciting. Fion56, you've basically been using this as a checklist to play against all your idols. Obviously you're really, really into Gwent and you've been watching these people. Now that Trump's been taken care of, what is it like going up against Life Coach?
Да так же.
Well, quite the same.
Ну, возможно, да, мои деки не совсем стандартные, но на это и был расчет. То есть я собираюсь как бы спихнуть всю мету. Не идти в ногу с ней, а именно сделать шаг в сторону и спихнуть.
Well, I understand that some tactics you might have seen might have been non-standard, but I'm not going to delve on it, and I'm just taking a step aside and going my own way.
Sounds like you're investing a little bit of tunnel vision, which is something that Life Coach, you have been mastering this entire time. In fact, influencing other players on how to invoke this tunnel vision. You're kind of excited that focus is key here?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I will be very looking forward for the experience, and obviously I have been practicing completely 4 weeks, so that means 400 hours of practice, and I really hope that I will be able to convert these 400 hours in practice in the next hour.
400 hours of practice. Fion, do you think you've got that covered? Have you even gotten close to 400 hours?
Нет, не уверен.
Well, I'm not sure now.
Alrighty, let's see if practice does make perfect. Let's get these semi-finals happening. Gentlemen, or Gentlemen, I should say, take your seats. Let's get this happening. This should be very interesting. I'm wondering if they're going to use completely different techniques in this game or whether they're going to stick to what they know. Josh, back to you at the desk to get this happening.
All right, thank you, Maude.
Yeah, it's good to be Life Coach right now. You have passed through 2 rounds at this particular stage. Let's talk about one of your techniques, which is quite an obvious thing that we're doing. It looks like my hangover, but it's called the tunnel vision. And I have a feeling that you taking every single second that is allowed for you every single turn, what percentages of that is technique and what percentage of that is actually you weighing up every possibility?
Well, Gwent is kind of a very complex and competitive game, and as such you really need all the time in the turn. I mean, I would even take 3 times the time if I could, but obviously there is a timer. The rule. Yeah.
I believe it, that's for sure. Now, all the pros are left in the game. Well, there's only pros, I should say. You will be up against either Nox or PPD. Who would you rather face off against?
Well, I mean, I played Nox back in Hearthstone days, so that would be quite a funny coincidence if you would meet here again on stage, of course. But I don't... I mean, I cheer for both because I know them both. Both are very nice, and whatever happens will happen.
That's massively diplomatic, and I love that response. Let's just finish this off. Obviously, Fion was known for his John move, that leader card, but apparently the John Calvate didn't wait, didn't get it in at all. Were you threatened by that move? Because he loves choosing rare leader cards.
Well, actually, it's not such a hidden move because the Lethor, I mean, if you play Nilfgaard Spice, Lethor and the combination is usually included, specifically if you play the guy who searches for one specific card. And after he played it, I could actually assume him having all these cards in the hand. So
yeah, that would be Life Coach schooling me currently, living up to your name. Thank you so much for that. You will be in the finals, though. That's the difference between $20,000 and $60,000, depending on those results. Best of luck for that one. Let's get back into the tournament. We do have one more round to go of the semi-finals. So back to you guys at the desk.
thank you.
Yeah, this is the semi-finals. We've got one more here to find out who will go into the finals. This is where it all counts, basically. Now, Peter, you were a bit of a surprise. People don't know you as the CCG at the moment. We could all change after this. But it actually proves that gaming experience does kind of trickle down into all sorts of things, including Gwent, as you can see. I want to know from you, now that you know about Nox, now that you know his gameplay, are you kind of a little bit confident, or are you going to play this one nice and smoothly yet again?
I think I'm a little bit more confident just because I know Vishra is a way better player than he is. But I don't know. I didn't really expect to win the last series, and I guess I'm just optimistic and I'm going to do my best.
Okay, wow, the salt's coming a little bit back here. That's cool, that's cool, that's cool. Nox, big surprise with your round. You thought that you would lose out against your competitor. That wasn't the case at all. Are you kind of just happy to be here, or are you ready to knock him dead?
I mean, making it to the semis is already more than I had anticipated, so at this point I'm just looking to, well, knock him out if I can, but ultimately I don't know really, like, his lineup is not something I'd prepared for specifically, so I think it'll take me off guard a little bit.
Do you think it might be unconventional gaming?
Not that much, no.
Oh, okay, I just thought we'd take a drink every time unconventional gaming was said, but there you go. We can all do tunnel vision if we play that game though, but drink responsibly, that's what this is all about. Look, the final's around the corner. It's down to this one. Boys, take your seats, knock 'em dead. I believe in you guys. There's a nice little handshake that you missed, so the trash talk isn't happening right now, but the emotes is just a click away, so you never know who's gonna get a little bit spicy. That's right, boys, back to you, Josh. The game's coming up. Semi-finals, this is the last one. I'm excited.